So the youngest is 7 and the oldest is 14. Fabulous. And you're all representing Phoenix School, and you've watched some movies, which is great. Did anyone, we'll give you, I want to make sure that we just get to your questions. Did you guys have any questions for me that you'd like to ask?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's fly through it. So who'd like to ask the first question?
All right, Christopher, start us off. Go for it.
So along your journey, we know how you and your organization.
Okay, so if you just ask me a question, we're having technical difficulties again, unfortunately. It cut out. I only heard you say along the journey. Could you repeat your question for me?
Okay, he said to come closer to our microphone.
I don't know what's going on for us technically today, but there must be high winds up there in the world or something.
So we know how you and your organization, we know how your organization grew over this 10-year period where you tried and eventually succeeded in getting Peace Day to become like a national holiday. But how did you as a person grow during that 10-year period?
Okay, well, thank you for your question, Richard. That's a very good question. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's been 17 years I've been on the road. 1998, I began the journey. 1998, I began the journey, and in 1999 we launched, and here we are today, 2015. So yeah, it's been a long time, and you're absolutely right. It's a great question. The organisation has grown a lot. In terms of establishing a Day of Peace, both in the United Nations for the world and also for America, because 21st September is America's Day of Peace, which John Kerry helped us create. So it's important that as Americans you know that, and it's also a day voted by every government of the world as the world's Day of Peace. So this is a very important day, particularly, of course, for America. And then of course you saw the lives being saved in Afghanistan, and also you've now seen that this year probably 2 billion people being exposed, so a lot of people involved. So there's been a great growth in the day, and then on a personal level, I think that I've learned many things, Richard, and I think that when you hear people say, "Oh, he's a wise person." I'm not suggesting I'm a wise person, but I'm a lot wiser as a consequence of going on the journey. And I think some important things that I've learned is that the word no, if you ask somebody to help you, or somebody says no to something that you're trying to achieve, in many ways is as interesting as getting a yes. If somebody says no, you can always do some more work and try to turn it into a yes, So there's a saying, isn't there? Don't take no for an answer. I think this is a very good saying. This is a very good saying that you guys should all learn. Don't worry if somebody says no. Just go and do some more work. Find out why they said no. And maybe go again and ask them again. Maybe because you've done some more work, they'll end up saying yes. So don't take no for an answer is one thing I've learned, Richard. I think also failing is no problem. If you don't pass an exam, or if you don't win a race, I think you just or you don't make it to the top of the mountain, then just try again. Because again, failing, you can also as long as you've tried your best, it doesn't matter if you fail. You've tried your best, and that's very important. So I think failing is when I learn most about myself and when I learn most about what I'm trying to achieve. So I give it a very positive meaning. And I think also I've learned that you should keep life as simple as you can. Don't overcomplicate things. Choose what you want to try and achieve, and don't complicate it, and just go for it. And so I think that's so keeping things simple. Don't take no for an answer. Look at failure in a slightly different way. Look at it as part of the journey, and a necessary part of the journey. I have more hope inside of me, Richard. I have hope that humanity can change, and that I have hope that peace is possible. So I'm a lot more positive, I think, as a consequence of going on this journey about the future of humanity and its potential survival. So, I've learned a lot of things along the way. It's been great. Okay, thanks for that question. What's the next question?
Harper?
Hello, my name is Harper, and I'm in 6th grade. And at the start of all this, and at the start of your, what is it? Peace One Day, on your project, were you kind of skeptical about being able to do like peace for one day? Were you a little worried if it would work at the start?
Yeah, I guess I was a little worried that if it was going to work at the start. And so I probably was a little bit sort of skeptical, but what I quickly learned is that it did work, and people got behind it. We see extraordinary things happen on the day, in the most which is really building bridges. People saying sorry, making friends. It's a real peace-building moment. It's a day when young people are inspired and empowered. It's a day when humanitarian activity is delivered. It's a day where there's less fighting. People say so. There's so many positive, wonderful things going on now that obviously I'm very, very excited, and all of that success has given me a lot of passion. So at first, yes, I was a little bit nervous whether I could make this day a reality, like a climber is. When you climb a mountain, you're a little bit nervous about whether you can get to the top or not. But we did get to the top by all working together. So it's fantastic. And now there's not many people who are skeptical about the day because, it depends how you view the day. The day is this incredible opportunity to come together as one on the planet. And that's what we're doing now. And that's really important because if we can come together for one day and we get one day right, then we can have two and we can make it even bigger. So thanks for your great question. Cheers. Who's next?
Come on, Dietrich. This is Dietrich.
Dietrich. Excellent.
Here, hold on. Just make sure you can see.
Hello.
So, how did you get the idea of starting a day about peace, or how did you get the idea of making something to make the world a better place?
How did I get the idea? Well, that's a great question, and you asked the question so well. So congratulations to you, mate. Wonderful. I got the idea because I was thinking about peace, and I was thinking about, wouldn't it be amazing if the world came together as one, like a big Christmas day for the world? Like how amazing that would be, all of our families together and everything, and I thought, wow, I'd like to try and make that happen. I'd like to have a kind of a day when we all celebrate as one all over the world. We have parties and celebration and sing songs and give presents, and it's just beautiful. That's how I had the idea. I thought, wow, we don't have that big day for the world. We should have a big, big celebration for the world. And you know what? It's going to be wonderful that you're a part of it, because you're going to make it a success in your family, and you tell your friends, and you have a great day in school that day, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, dude. Okay, who's next?
James?
This is fun. I love everybody's T-shirts that you got on. It's not the greatest of pictures, but you all got great circles on those T-shirts. What's it saying on there?
It's the Phoenix School.
Phoenix School, loving it. What a beautiful name, Phoenix. Woohoo! All right. What's your name?
I'm James. I'm in 4th grade, and I was wondering, what did you have to do to spread the word at first?
Well, I had to find people like you, James. I had to find the James of Phoenix, and we found him now. So I need you, James, to tell as many people as you possibly can about this day of peace. Will you do that?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So before I met you, though, there was loads of people like you, James, and they were working in governments, or they were working in schools, or like non-governmental organisations like charities and non-profits, or they were in faith, like a place of worship, like a church or whatever it might be. I was talking to loads of people, and I needed to find people who would then go and tell other people. So why I'm here today is to tell you people, that go out and tell your friends and tell your family and work with your teachers in the school, and organise great things with football and poetry and music and art. Do everything that you can to make as many people know about the day as possible, because it's a big celebration for peace, and we need to be celebrating what peace is, and we need to be talking about peace, because we need to make sure, James, that when you grow up, the world is a more peaceful place, and you're going to be a part of that. So good luck.
Thanks.
See you, James. Bye, mate.
Amazing. Yeah, speak louder, honey.
My name's Mason. I'm in 6th grade. And what do you like to do in your free time when you're not working?
What do I love to do in my free time? Well, I I mean, free time, what I love most of all, apart from being with my family, if I could do one thing, it'd be wakeboarding. I mean, I've been wakeboarding for years, forever, ever since they came around. Before that, I was water skiing. So I love being on the water and riding my board. And that's when I don't think about, anything, whatever. We're doing sport. So that's what I love. What do you love? What do you do?
I like to play lacrosse.
Lacrosse? Nice. Yeah, that's great. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I love doing in my free time. It's a really good question. I like being on the water too. I love being by the beach. I love being by the beach. I love messing around in sand. I love being by the water. I love swimming and, jumping around, just having a laugh. Good question, dude. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right, mate.
Sarah?
My name is Sarah, and I'm in 6th grade, and in the process of making piece for one day, did you ever come to this part that you got really frustrated about?
Yeah. Well, that's a very good question, Sarah. And I think that, I did get frustrated, but I think it's really important, if you guys ever get frustrated and, you're doing something and you ever get frustrated, when you do great things or you paint a great picture or whatever it is, you climb a mountain, Sarah, frustration is a part of life. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things are just really difficult. And difficult things can be frustrating. And that's why they're difficult. Does that make sense? When something's really tough and you're like, oh my God, this is really tough. This is so difficult. You know what I mean? That's why it's tough. Yeah, so frustration is actually a part of us achieving what we need to do in life. So you can look at frustration as something that's very natural. And when you get frustrated, just remember that it's supposed to be frustrating so that you learn and you become more skilled. And so frustration is, almost like getting a no. When somebody says get a no, you don't want to give up. You want to go, okay, well, why did they say no? And then maybe try and change their mind after you've done a little bit of work. So failing and no's and frustration, they're all part of a big climb, of a big journey. They're very natural. So you just go with it. And remember that, and that's how you get through the frustration. Good question, Sarah. So good luck.
My name is Ella. I'm in 5th grade, and my question is, since the world is so big and you had to talk to so many people, how did you get them all to agree with each other?
Well, I mean, I haven't got everybody yet, Sarah, but certainly with your help, we're going to get there, because I know that you're going to tell your friends and tell your family that it's Peace Day, and you're going to do things at school, which is great. And, I hope that other schools in Massachusetts, also do things as well. And maybe you can, if you've got a brother or a sister at a different school or a friend at a different school, ask them to celebrate the day as well. So that's how we do it. That's how we tell everybody. We get everybody, like James that we were speaking to earlier, we get everybody to tell everybody that they can. And then you can see how very quickly it will spread. When you tell a secret to somebody at school maybe, and then the next day you find out that somebody else knows. You know what I mean? You tell your friend something, you're like, oh, check this out, and you don't say anything. So before you know it, everyone knows. And you know why that is? Because it's like good news spreads, things spread. And so you just remember that, that you start telling people all over the world, they tell their friends, and before you know it, kind of like everyone's getting to know. Especially when it's a good idea. Yeah, especially when it's a good idea. It's like, good ideas spread. Sometimes bad ideas do as well, but most of the time, really good ideas spread. And this is a good idea, and that's why it's going to spread around. Before you know it, we'll all be together as one in the world for one day. All the youth of the world standing as one in the name of peace. What a great day that's going to be. Imagine every young person of America, everyone standing together as one. Just be awesome. That's what we need to make happen. Thank you for your question.
Anthony, did you have a question? Okay.
Hi, my name's Anthony.
All right, Anthony. Like I said, bend your knees, Anthony.
Where's your favorite place that you've been on your journey?
The most favourite place that I've ever been on my journey would have to be... Oh, well, I'll tell you the place that... it's a really difficult question. Because, favourite would almost sound like, well, the place that's made the most impact on me and really sort of just changed my entire outlook on life was Somalia. I was just outside Mogadishu in a place called Badoa. And, you know, when I was there, it was like, wow. I just saw another side of life that I just never knew existed. Because it was the first time that I really had gone into a really troubled area. And it was, you know, it was kind of like shocking beyond belief. I was like really physically, wow, this is extraordinary. How some people were, you know, suffering unfairly and unnecessarily. And so that had a big impact on me. But then, you know, then there are other places, you know, where you go for relaxation, you know, which is just incredible. You know, I think of all the places in America, you know, that I've been that are just, wow, just beautiful. But all over the world. I mean, I've now been to every continent. I've been to almost 120 countries. So, you know, which is a lot of the world. But I'd say the place that's had the biggest impact on me was Somalia. It's a great question. What about you? Hang on, before you go, what's the place in the world that's had the sort of greatest impact on you that you think?
Probably New Zealand.
Ah, wow. That's a long way from you. Yeah, wow. That's a great, yeah, that's great. You've been to New Zealand. Wow, that's a beautiful place. Well done.
One of my sister lives there.
Ah, does she? Ah, great. Okay, well, have you told your sister about Peace Day?
No, I don't think so.
Hey, tonight, when you go home, please email your sister and ask her to mark the day, yeah?
Okay.
Tell her about the 21st. She can get her friends together and her family, etc. Tell her that it's going to be Peace Day. Then you look, and then the young girl who asked before you, Sarah, was it, in the yellow top? Or you know, okay, so she was just saying, how does the word spread, right? That young girl just said to me, how do you get the word to spread? Well, look what's going to happen. You're going to tell someone in New Zealand, and then they're going to do something. That's the whole point. That's what we've all got to do. Spread the word. Will you do that?
Yep. Thank you.
Well done. Thanks a lot.
Kayla?
Hi, my name is Michaela, and I'm in 5th grade. And what inspired you, except for war, most to start peace one day?
I think the interesting thing is that most violence, you know, you just talked about war then, and your teachers can talk to you about this later on, okay? Most violence that happens today, and I'll tell your teachers that 98% of the violence that happens today happens in our homes, communities and schools. So to the teachers that are there listening, most violence, 98% of the violence happens in our homes, communities and schools. Only 2% happens through terrorism and in a war-torn zone. Only 2%. So the real war that humanity faces is not in areas of conflict. It's not in the third world. It's in the first world. It's in every country of the world. And it's where it all happens, schools, communities. And so I'm mentioning this to the teachers because it's probably a bit more, you know, you guys can take them through this process. So effectively, you know, what's got me really involved is knowing that we in our schools, yeah, if there's somebody upset in the classroom, we need to help them, yeah? And in our communities and in our homes, if we've fallen out with our friends or, you know, we've got a brother and sister and you're not talking, you know, we've got to make things happen in our homes, communities and schools. That's where we can make the greatest impact because that's the area of the world that needs the greatest impact. So that's why we all can play such a role. So this day isn't about places where there's wars. This day is about everywhere, wherever we are in the world. We can all make a big difference and make sure that people are happy. Yeah? Will you do that? You make sure that all your friends at school are all happy, yeah? And, you know, on the day, if there's anybody being left out, you know, include them and be real sweet. It's going to be a fun time.
Where is Peace One Day? Like, what part in England? Where is it?
Okay, so have you heard of London?
Yeah.
Great. And I'm in London, but I'm just on the outskirts of London. If you look at a map, maybe one of your teachers can show you a London map. There's a place called Richmond. Richmond. There's a Richmond, I think, in America, isn't there? But yeah, so I'm in Richmond, and I'm near the airport called Heathrow, and it's lovely here.
I flew into Heathrow.
Oh, did you? Excellent. Well, when you flew into Heathrow, you flew straight over our offices. So that's where we are, just near Heathrow, Richmond, and it's lovely here.
Hey guys, I just want to let you know you have 5 more minutes. So maybe 1 or 2 questions.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Daniela. All right, who's next?
Brenner is next, and then Jack.
Alrighty.
So, I'm Brenner,
good.
and when you started your project, how successful did you think it would get?
Well, do you know what? When I started the what's your name again?
Brenner.
Brennan. All right, Brennan. So when I started the project, I thought I didn't know how successful it was going to be. And you know, Brennan, this is a really important thing for you to remember. Okay, when you I don't know what do you love doing? What sports do you love?
I really like soccer.
You love soccer. So when you play a game of soccer, I know that you want to win the game. You always want to win the game, right? But it doesn't matter if you win or lose, does it?
No.
No, you still had a great time, right?
Yep.
And if you lose, do you think you learned something?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's how I was, Brennan. I was exactly the same as you. I didn't really care, at the beginning, whether I failed or succeeded in trying to create this day of peace. I just wanted to try. I was like, come on, let's have a go. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get to the top of this mountain of peace. And if I don't get to the top, no problem. At least I tried. I tried my best. Yeah? And so whatever you do, whether it's your exams, Brennan, or your football, or other things that you love, as long as you're doing your best and you're trying, well, you can't do better than that. And you learn great things. That's how I was at the beginning.
Okay.
Thanks, Brennan.
Hi, my name is Jack, and I'm in 8th grade. But what are you doing to furthermore extend Peace Day besides trying to get it across to people around the world?
Well, that's a big goal, and it doesn't really leave too much time for other things. What we're trying to do is tell everybody in the world, and we call it exposure. We're trying to expose people. So whether we do that through education, basically, so all of the things that we do in this, in terms of what are we trying to do here? We do things with music. We do things with film. Yeah, we campaign. So non-profits, faiths, schools and universities, domestic abuse organisations. We communicate with governments. We communicate with intergovernments. We communicate with UN agencies. So we're a lot of campaigning going on, a lot of education, resources in 196 countries right now. 196 countries. Do lots with social media to spread the word. And then obviously we do a lot corporately. We work with very large corporations who also run campaigns and help us spread the word. So it's a good question. The organisation is divided in all of these areas that I've just talked about. And all of those areas tell people about the day, and they also engage people on the day. People, as a consequence of all of those comms, all those communications, then do something on the day. So there's about 40 people working here. They're all flat out, working very hard right now, doing everything that they can to make sure people do things. And that's why, I wanted to reach out to you today to say, look, tell your friends, tell your family, make sure that if there's anyone in any other schools or anyone in any other countries, make sure that people are on our Facebook and following Twitter at Jeremy Gilley. Good luck on the day. Have a great Peace Day, and it's really nice. And thank you for your question. Cheers, mate. Thanks, man.
We might have one more little guy who'd like to ask a question.
All right, one
Jeremy.
more little guy.
Connor, do you want to come and ask Jeremy a question?
Hiya, what's your name?
Connor.
Hiya, mate.
Connor.
Potter. Hey, Potter.
How hard did it take for you to do Peace Day?
Well, do you know what? It was pretty hard. But my mum and dad were great, and they were like looking after me and helping me, and my friends were very supportive. So with my mum and dad and my friends, and lots of people who wanted to help, we made it happen. It was hard, but lots of people helped me, and lots of people help you, right? Do people
help you?
Do people help you do things? Yeah? All right. Well done, Potter. Excellent.
Oh.
Now what about that little person? What about that little person there? Just those little guys at the front. Let me see if I can answer all those questions, please. Come on, yeah. Thanks.
My name is Jasmine.
What? Your name's Jasmine? Hey, Jasmine. What's your question? Yeah.
Why did you like Peace Day kind of like a birthday for like the world?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Peace Day is like a birthday for the world. Yeah, give a round of applause. Well done, well done, well done. Great question. What's another one from the front there?
Alice, did you have one? Pop up here so Jeremy can see you, honey.
Okay, what's your question?
Did you ever feel like you wanted to give up?
Yeah, sometimes I did. But have you ever felt like you wanted to give something up? Yeah, so sometimes that happens, you know. That's no problem. You just have to kind of go, right, I'm going to carry on, you know, and just take a deep breath. When any of you guys in there feel like you want to give up, just take a deep breath and think, okay, let me ask my friends and let me get some support and just carry on. So when you feel like you want to give up, don't worry. Just take a deep breath. Maybe go to sleep, and wake up the next day and think, right, I'm going to try again. Yeah, you going to do that? All right. Well, good luck in life. Okay, you guys were amazing. Thank you so much. Daniela's here.
Hey guys.
She's going to take me off somewhere else. But I thought it was fantastic. I thought you did great questions, Phoenix School, Massachusetts. And I really look forward to hearing about what you're going to do on Peace Day. Have a wonderful Peace Day, and thank you very much for talking to me. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks, Jeremy.